All right, coach. Now, technically, over the years, I've been observing the 400 meters, especially with our Jamaican athletes. And for me, I believe that we have not been technically doing the race as it is supposed to be done or the training. I'm not sure. You can correct me there. But do you believe that our quarter milers execute the way that they are to execute in a race or they're trained in the background and so forth?
They don't. A lot of our quarter milers, now, if you look at them, they believe that a 400 meters is just finesse. They believe that all you do, you just try to get fast. And they don't want to do anything over the distance to get them strong and fast. And they also do not have the proper coaches around them to motivate them, to let them understand that it's 80% mental.
True.
Because once you have the God-given talent and you have the speed and you believe you can run the race, everybody have the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody have the same thing. And once you're fast, but you're not mentally prepared for it. You're not mentally prepared for it. When you go there and you see people like the world record holder in a race with you, yes, and you see all those quarter miles from the US who are running 44, 43s, right there and then you get in the race and you're looking and said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure, I can't beat these 5 people.
So psychologically, you're messed up.
Yes. They don't believe that it only takes one race. If I go there and I beat Van de Kerk, right? If I beat him one time, it's going to be difficult for him to beat me again because he's going to start think about me. If you go in races with these people and they don't think about you at all, then you know you're not going to beat them.
Right.
You have to try it at least once in your life. Even if you don't beat them, you run them close so that they remember who you are. They remember your name and they do so that they know that if they make a mistake, you're going to beat them. Our quarter milers know. They just go there and they just decide, oh, I'm going to finish. I might just make it to the finals. And then they might have a one good race and then they feel good. And then the next year, they totally forget about what they did. It's a tough race mentally and physically. If you don't believe you can stand up to the task, find a different event.
Sure. It's a grueling event. It's a tough event. The quarter mile is but as you said earlier, once you would have put in the hard work, running the race would be like snapping your fingers. But you have
especially if you're good.
Right. It becomes very easy. Now, coach,
yeah,
a lot of persons believe that you're not a good enough coach. I've heard this narrative over and over on the social media at certain discussions but you would have produced an athlete like Jermaine Gonzalez who would have run a lot of 44, very good athlete in his time. You'd have produced another female in the likes of Rosemary White.
Thank you.
You have had some more athletes that you would have the Javier Bell and so forth. So, what do you say to the critics now, coach, who tend to want to criticize your coaching philosophy?
Right. First, let me say to you, I coach Davita. What's her last name? Davita. I coach Sherry Lloyd. I coach, I coach, right now I have a little girl, Tiffany James. I coach Javier Edino Steele. At one moment, I have 3 people and in the world championship, 3 men and 3 female and 3 male and 3 male. I'd received coach of the year the same year when Jermaine had ranked number 2 in the world. But guess what? I cannot stop someone from saying that I'm not a good coach. If I was coaching Jermaine Gonzalez and Jermaine go out and say, coach, you're not a good coach, then I would take offense to that, right? Because I coach him and he's the one who's saying it. Every single quarter milers that I coach, and you can look it up, they had run their personal best. If they have not run their personal best, they have won some sort of medal.
Right.
Every one of them that leave me and go someplace, I've never run as fast as they run before, right? And you can check that out. And if you check it out and it's not true, let me know.
Go ahead.
Like I was saying, as a coach, as long as your athletes believe in you and you treat them like human being and you try to protect them as much as possible and you give them the knowledge that you believe that is right for them. Because I have never ever one day look at somebody's program and try to use their program. Everything that I do is from me and what I like. You don't hear me go out and tell you that I want to coach a half miler, or you want to hear me say, I say I want to coach quarter milers. I have put my system, I have my own system here. But a lot of these people who are saying what they're saying, I just feel that is just jealousy, because people will come to me and not them. And I understand that. And I understand that if they want to believe that, put it for instance, if they have a young man or a young woman who wants to be good, and just because of their jealousy, they don't believe that I am the best coach as a quarter mile coach in Jamaica, and send them to somebody else, and knowing to themselves that if they send that person to me, they probably would achieve something. Yeah. But they would do that because they probably, even if it's their own child, they don't want to see their own child succeed, because there's something about people like me, because we already gone to the world level. Why are we decided that we want to continue to do this? And that is something that they can't take away from me.
Right. Well said, coach. Now, the pandemic is upon us, the entire world. However, 2021 Tokyo Olympics will have to go on. The organizers say it will happen with or without the athletes. Do you believe that the charges who are now in your control are going to qualify for the Tokyo Olympics?
Well, if you know me, and you know me well, you know that I'm going to motivate them to the utmost heights. And I have Christine Day, and I have Tiffany James, I have Martin Manley, and now this young man is coach is working out with me at Kenroy Anderson. I have 4 athletes, and I have athletes from England. His name is Jamal Marcus, is working with me now, 5 people. And I'm telling you that we're out at the stadium every morning at 5:30 to 8 o'clock. And I'm telling you that we also having fun. We also know that the pandemic is on us. So we do our social distancing and we do everything that necessary. We have no excuse to say that we are not doing the things for us to move on to the Olympics. We know that there will be an Olympics. And I can tell you that we are doing our best. When the day comes for us to go to the trials, we will be mentally and physically prepared for that day. Until then, I can say to you that we're on track.
Well said again, coach. Well said. Now, we understand, and you initially said it, that you have been recruited to rejoin the boys program at your alma mater, St. Jago High School. How do you feel about going back to the alma mater for the second stint?
I tell you something. Home is home, you know that.
Yes.
It don't matter what home looks like, you know. And we have a head coach there by Mr. Gale. Mm-hmm. Tremendous coach, doing very well. So I am going back to St. Jago, not to take over St. Jago's program. I'm the technical director, which is very much involved. And Duran Era, my assistant, both of us are there. And Let me tell you, and I'm there with Mr. Goldberg. It comes back to the old days when we just after we work, we sit. Now we're not under the guango tree because there's a lot of water there. We find a little spot to sit down and just go back down memory lane. You know, I am not walking to a Kingston College gate. and begging a job. I'm not going to JC and asking for it. I'm not going to Calabar. I wish I had a good school. But the greatest place that I feel comfortable at, just to go back and just to give an assistant and try to get our program back in track. Forget about all these other people come to your school and say that they're coaches. Mr. McKinley always tell me one thing, these people are in transit. Once they're not from the school, their love is not for the school. They will come to the school and they do whatever they want to do. And if they're leaving, they try to take the whole program with them. You understand? They try to take the whole program with them. And that is not right. So what we are trying to do, we're trying to bring back all our St. Jagoites. And with Mr. Gabe, Mr. Amin, is somebody that I have a lot of respect for. So I will watch, I'm there with him and I'm guiding him. I let him know that we are just here for you. Because things that he's doing, those are things that I don't want to go back through again. But I want to be an integral part of the program so that we can get better, knowing that if I'm leaving, I'm not taking the best boys in with me or whatever. They stay right there. Mm-hmm. And that is like home building. We're building back our reputation. We are building back the St. Jago, what we are accustomed to. Mm-hmm. You understand? So yesterday I told Mr. Gorburn that, man, it feels so good to be back. It is like home. We sit down and we look at the little rain and the little water, and we know we were there before. And I just know that we're going to get back up where we used to be.
Yes.
Without the fuss and the fighting, we follow protocols and we do the things that is necessary. Work with the girls, work with the boys, and just be one big happy family. And that is my goal for my school.
Certainly. Now, Coach, jumping over to the senior ranks, do you see our male sprinters getting back on top in the next few years?
That's going to be difficult. It's hard for you to replace a man like Usain Bolt.
Very difficult.
Right, and when you have a sprinter as Usain Bolt, and you don't put anything in place, when Bolt is making this transition, it's open a gap. We can still have people running 10-1s and 10-2s and 10-0, but that's not our standard. They don't feel like they are accomplishing. No, I mean, if you're 20, 21, that is great. But the same one, them who are 25 to 30 now, and they're running the 10-1s and the 10-2, it's very difficult. It's a hard thing because remember when we had Bolt, and Asafa Powell, as a young man and you're traveling with them, it builds you, because you're with the fastest man in the world. Now we don't have a leader. We don't have a leader in the men's sprint. I mean, luckily we still have Shelly and we still have Elaine. So the women can improve because they still have, you still have that to follow. In the men, there's nobody. And we don't have anybody coming up through the ranks right now. So it's going to take us a while before we can get back to where we were.
Okay, good. But we do have the talent to remain relevant.
We still going to be the top. We're still going to be the top four. We're still going to be the top four best sprinters on the male side in the world. Mm-hmm. There's not too many countries can find 4 people who can do a relay and run 37s. Sure. You understand? Mm-hmm. And we have this I saw this young man. He's at Racers Track Club right now. I am terrible with name now, Gilvin.
Civil.
Yeah. I see the abundance of talent in him. Yes. But need the guidance. Right. He need the rest of the sprinters who is going to protect him and motivate him. Right. Don't see him as who is this little boy here coming through. You understand? Mm-hmm. But he's with a good coach. You know. So we need people like that. And we have some nice little ones coming out of high school right now. But the ones that we have so far, no. That's on the international, that's on the senior level. they have to come a lot better than where they at right now.
Yes, definitely.
So we have to start depend. So you're saying another 3 to 4 years or 2 to 3 years, then we will start shine again. But these ones that we have right now, you know, they were with Bolt. So after Bolt passed, it seems like they're passing with Bolt. The only difference is that Bolt is retired,
Yes,
but
and
they're still out there, but they're not doing the necessary thing to even. Can you remember when Bolt was here? You have people like Minzy. These guys just come out. We
Jason
have, say it again, let me hear.
Jason Young.
Yes, Jason Young, and you have what's his name? I am terrible with names.
Yohan
Yuan Blake is we can't take nothing away from Yuan.
Mhm.
Yuan is the second fastest man in the world. But Yuan have so much on his shoulder. Yuan is trying, because remember, Yuan got through those injuries.
Injured, yeah.
Yuan have to be trying to get back. So Yuan doesn't have time to build other people. He have time to try to see if he can get back to where he was.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong about Yuan. Because nobody could stand up and say Yuan is not this and Yuan is not that. Yuan run 9.6. 9.6, right?
9.6.
9.6 and 20 and 19.2.
0.2.
Right. So understand. But where Yuan is right now, he's working over all his injuries and all those things. And yes, still these guys still cannot beat Yuan. So understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
Understand what I'm saying. These ones that is there now, we have to move them out right now and get the younger ones in who thinking different, not just thinking about the money, thinking about trying to get where you want to go, and then you think about the money next. And that is where we're going to come back and be as dominant as what we used to be.
Definitely, coach. We have reached to the end of the segment, coach. One of my longest interviews, trust me. So, like I said before, I'm going to have to do a 2-part series with you because of the caliber individual that you are. But any final words that you want to share before we end this program today?
Yeah, I would like to say, especially for you, Ben, I'm glad that you give me the opportunity to speak. You might probably think that it's small, but it's not small to me, it's big. Because as a Jamaican, I just believe that we must stick together. We must try to elevate each other, not to tear us down. And if we do it from here and move on, we can find out that Jamaica track and field is not dead. Just support each other. Don't tear us down. Don't envy each other. Just try to build on what we got, and we move on to bigger and better things.
All right, coach. Thank you very much for the opportunity again to share with us here on Coach's Desk. It was a privilege. I'm sure that it was tiresome for you because you even did not speak all the things that you wanted to speak because you had an illustrious career and you're now into coaching. So I think you should write a book, coach.
I believe so too. I talked to my wife about that. Yes.
Write a book. So again,
if I write a true story book, boy, I tell you,
I think you'd make a lot of money.
Yes.
You'd make a lot of money, man. All right. Thanks again. Thank you very much for sharing with us today on Coach's Desk. It was a privilege for us to have you here on the show. World Championship 400-meter winner, Bert Cameron, affectionately called Bert. Big up yourself, coach.
What if I love, man? All right.